David White here, welcome back to That Marketing Show. Let's talk about how to hire a digital marketer the right way. Now, there are really 3 steps to doing this properly. The first one is knowing what does your business actually need right now, which person does your business need. The second is getting your job posting written out and put in front of the right people so you attract the kind of person that you're looking for. And third is going through the interview process, which is a lot of what we're going to be talking about today because that is super important. So, this video is something of a follow-up to a video that I did previously, which you can watch up here, about how to decide who you actually need in your business, or who, probably more accurate way of saying it is, what do you need to hire for in your business? Because when you think about getting help with your marketing, you can probably go to like email marketing, social media, you could buy an ad agency, you could look at someone to help you with content marketing. There's so many different things that you could do. So I'm going to give you a really quick 2-minute refresher on everything that I talk about in that video linked above. And it essentially breaks down into these 3 things. So when you're hiring a marketer for your business, you're essentially hiring someone to do one of these 3 roles. So the first thing that someone can do in your business is what's called top of funnel marketing. So this is basically anything that you do that gets people who should buy from your business but don't know that you exist to become aware of you and engage with you. Now the next thing that you can hire for is middle of funnel marketing. And this essentially means getting all those people who know that your business exists, bringing them to your website, turning them into an email subscriber, and doing stuff, for want of a better term, that's going to turn them into an interested prospect who knows that your product is something that they should use and are excited to do business with you. And finally, there is the bottom of the funnel. So this is creating assets that turn those interested prospects into buyers. So that might be things like actual sales calls, might be writing a sales page, helping craft campaigns, doing email marketing, any of those particular things. So I'm going to give you a really quick rundown here of some of the different roles that you might consider hiring for your business. Top of funnel stuff generally includes things like social media, content, search engine marketing, brand managing, media buying, all those sorts of things. Middle of funnel and bottom of funnel generally includes copywriting, conversion managing, CRM managing, email marketing, product marketing, and then of course you can have the jack of all trades marketing manager, which is someone who kind of knows enough about all this sort of stuff that they can step in and fill a lot of holes. And then there's ancillary positions like data analyst, community manager, graphic designer, video editor, and what have you. So in the video that I mentioned just a second ago, which is like a prelude to this one, we spoke about knowing whether you're hiring for, hey, I don't have time to do all this social media stuff that I know I should, or I'm not skilled enough in copywriting or email marketing to get the kind of results that I want. Or it could be something as simple as, hey, you know what? This thing here, like this whole CRM, managing my email, getting everything to work properly, writing the emails, setting up all the campaigns, it's a massive headache for me and I hate it. And I would rather just pay someone to do it for me. Whatever it is that you're looking for, speed, skill, or just getting rid of headaches in your business, you need to know hey, what is this person actually doing and what result are they supposed to generate? So that's kind of the premise of where we start today's video is step number 1. Know what your business needs. Know what this person that you're hiring needs to do and what kind of result you expect them to generate. Now, the second thing that we need to get to is the job posting. So you know who you're going to hire in your business. Let's say it's a content marketing manager. You know what it is that they're supposed to do. They're going to do blog and YouTube stuff for you, and you know what kind of result you want them to generate. Let's say hypothetically, it's something like I want my YouTube audience to grow. Rather than at 10% a month, I want to get it to 15% a month, and I'm getting this many people as traffic to my blog. I want to grow it by this much. Those are the things that this person is in charge of. Your job description needs to reflect that. Now, there are 5 different parts to a job description. I've got them listed out here. First of all, you want to tell people about your company. What is it that makes you cool? What does your product do for people? And essentially, why should anyone care about what it is that you do? Secondly, you want to talk about the role. So what are they actually going to be doing? What sort of tasks are they responsible for? Third is what sort of skills you're looking for from a marketer. Fourth is education and experience. And then finally, and this is optional, benefits and salary. So here's the thing. Around the world, at any given time, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of trained qualified human resource managers writing job descriptions every single day. And if you're a business owner, you probably don't have those sort of like human resource manager skills. That's okay. You don't need them. If you know exactly what you're looking for, let's say you want someone who's going to help you grow your podcast and your YouTube channel, go and look at what other people are saying about those roles. So I have an example here for you of a job posting that I wrote in, I'm going to say, 8 minutes max, purely by looking at other people's job postings on Indeed and by using ChatGPT. So here's the first thing I did. I went through Indeed and I searched for content marketing manager, and I picked out 5 bullet points of posts or job descriptions that I saw that sounded like something that I would be looking for if I had an imaginary company and I was hiring a YouTube and blog manager right now. So these are those 5 bullet points. You may want to mess around with them slightly, but it's much easier to just copy what other people are saying they're looking for if it's what you're looking for in your business than to try and write this stuff out from scratch. I did the same thing with the skills, and then I did the same thing with education and experience. And then here's what I did next. I went to ChatGPT and I got it to write out a job description for me. So I said, hey there, you're a highly experienced HR manager with a track record of hiring digital marketers. I need help writing a job description for a content marketer. Let me know when you're ready to get started. Now, ChatGPT said, cool. What specific details do you want to include? So I wrote a little bit of propaganda about my fake company. I said, I've got a cocktail making company called Friday Sips. We sell cocktail making courses, cocktail ingredients, and cocktail like tools like shakers and other stuff. We do blogs and weekly YouTube videos. So our content manager needs to do some X. Here are more details about the position. And I essentially just copy and pasted everything that I just showed you a second ago. And here's what ChatGPT spat out for me. A pretty decent job post. Now, of course, I wanted to mess around with this for my hypothetical fake business. So I added in a little bit of a mission here about the company and why someone might want to care about us. I wrote in a little bit more specific stuff about our blog and YouTube channel because this was kind of missing. And then at the end, I said to ChatGPT, what can we do to make this sound more appealing? And it gave me some pretty damn good ideas. So you can definitely use this tool to speed up the process of writing a job description. Personally, I can't think of anything worse than trying to write something like, where's my job posting? Something like this from scratch. That sounds like an absolute nightmare. So that's tip number 2. Look at what other people are saying they're looking for because they might have an HR manager who's actually doing it. See what makes sense for your business and then get the old ChatGPT to help you out. Now we get to the most important part of this entire process, which is, in my opinion, the job interview and really being able to identify who is going to be a fantastic fit for your company, who you can trust to be a resource that will help you grow, get more customers, get more leads, get more sales, make a bunch more money, and do that in kind of the most effective, but also the friendliest way possible, because this is probably not going to be easy for you, and it's definitely not going to be easy for your candidate either. So here's what I suggest. When you post your job description on Indeed or Glassdoor or LinkedIn or what have you, I would suggest that you get your candidates, this is very important, I would give your candidates an assignment and I would say, I would really like you as part of your job description to audit our email marketing or go and have a look at our YouTube channel and our social media and audit what we've got. I want to hear 3 things that you think we could be doing differently. Whether that is stuff that we're doing badly, please give us feedback, or things that you think that we could be doing a lot more of that we're quite good at. I want 3 things from you. Get them to audit your business. Now, the first thing that this will allow you to do, first and foremost, it's going to allow you to see how this person actually thinks. You're going to get to understand their views and their principles around, hypothetically, content marketing or your particular industry, or the things that you're doing well, or the things that you're not doing well. And that'll give you a really good chance to see how you resonate with them. And then secondly, when you actually do get to the interview phase of the whole job candidate hiring process, you'll have something that you can talk to them about. So I want to run through the interview now because this is, in my opinion, the most important thing. When you start meeting people who can come and work in your business as marketers, probably the easiest way for me to describe all the people that you might meet is that they're going to fall on a spectrum. Now, there'll be many different spectrums of kind of people that you can meet. There'll be people who are right up the very top end of like the hardworking, get the result no matter what type spectrum. And then there'll be people who are sort of, maybe more looking for like 10 to 15 hours of work a week, kind of part-timers, which is fine. Both of those are totally okay. You just need to know what's right for your business. Second to that, here's an example that I'm going to share with you in just a second. There are people who are incredibly good at following directions, and they're good with sort of like standard operating procedures, and I don't want to say going through the motions, but operating within like, hey, every single week you do exactly this, and they're really good at that. And then there are other people who would much prefer to be told, hey, we need to grow YouTube by 15%. What are you going to do about it? You figure it out. So personally, I'd be much more one of those like, you figure it out kind of people if I was looking for a job in digital marketing. Both of these, again, are fine. But what you need to know is what you're looking for with regards to culture, experience, and skills. So let's run through the different spectrums of each one of these. And I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask your potential candidates to figure out if they're a match for your business. So we'll start with culture. Essentially, culture, for me, comes down to two things. Number one, does the person give a damn or give a hoot about your business? And do they believe that the role that you're hiring for, let's say email marketing for a cocktail company, or social media for, I don't know, like a furniture company, do they feel like that's a really important use of their time? That's a really good question to ask. Does this job feel like an important use of your time? So some of the things that you could drop through your interview to establish like, where is this person on the spectrum of like our culture's here, and then with people that we don't want to resonate with, or the people that we wouldn't resonate with are down here. Some of the questions that you can ask are, why digital marketing? What got you into this particular space? Another question, this is one that I've stolen, but another question that you could ask is, what would you want to know about someone to decide if they're a good team member to work with or not? And then when they answer your question, they say, oh, I'd want to know about an example of where the person was reliable when the team needed him or her to back them up or to get something done when there was a time deadline. I'd say, hey candidate, tell me about a time when you were reliable and you were there to back everyone up when there was a time crunch and a deadline and your team needed you. So basically get them to tell you like, hey, how am I supposed to, like, in your criteria, what does a good team member look like? And then the third thing that you could ask is, what would be 3 words that describe you as a content marketer or an email marketer or just a digital marketer in general? And those questions or those answers that they give you, let's say they say things like relentless or disciplined or structured. Those questions will help you figure out, is this person going to match in for like what I'm hoping to get out of a digital marketer? The next area that we can look at is experience. And of course, we're looking for someone who knows the first principles of what they do. And when I say what they do, I'm talking about this sort of stuff up here. Social media, SEO, web pages, content hosting, email, campaign assets, whatever it might be. We're looking for someone who knows the first principles and has a track record with the results that they generate from that slide that I just showed you a second ago. So some questions that you can ask to determine your candidate's experience might be, who is crushing it in the world of YouTube or email marketing? Who's doing really well that we should be modeling? Or you could ask the person to tell you about the most successful project they've worked on. Or, another one of my favorites, you could say, what is something that most people get wrong about email marketing? And if they've got some really strong ideas there and it resonates with you, you know that this is the kind of person who you want to have in your business. And finally, skills. So we want to hire someone, obviously, who has the ability to move the needle for your business. If you hire a marketer and they don't make a measurable and significant impact on the amount of sales that you're making, you've done something wrong. So here are some questions that you can ask to determine their skills. Number 1, who did you learn from? Number 2, if you had carte blanche over our marketing and I said, here are the keys to the car, you got it for 90 days, what do you think you would do differently to all the things we're working on now? Thirdly, you could talk through the audit that I mentioned in the job, like when people were filling out the job post a moment ago, and you could say, all these ideas that you've given me here are really interesting. Talk me through this one. I want to hear your thinking around it. And then finally, you could say something like, what do you think is going to be the difference between good email marketing and bad email marketing on the next 10 years? Or what do you think is going to be the difference between YouTube in 2023 and YouTube in 2033? Now, I want to go back just a step here and say, I have tried really hard here not to identify candidates as good or bad. We're trying to look at what are the ideal characteristics that you're looking for. Are we looking for someone who's a free thinker? Or are we looking for someone who can just consistently crank out, like every single week we release a YouTube video, you email a list about it, you do this on social media with it, and you just follow that process over and over and over again. We're not looking for like good candidates and bad candidates. We're trying to find what is a fit for your business. So thinking about people on a spectrum is the way to go here. Now, obviously, there's a difference between someone who has the ability to move the needle for your business and someone with no skills. I'm not saying you need to be right up the very top end here, paying for the best marketer that you can possibly find. I'm saying you need to know like where on these spectrums are you. Now, the final thing, and this goes back to what I mentioned just a second ago, is that there are different spectrums that we can consider people to be at. So some ideas of things that you might want to know about your candidates are you a person who prefers to work alone, and we can say, hey, you're in charge of YouTube. We want you to get this from growing at 10% a month to 15% a month in the next 90 days. Or do you prefer to work as a team? Again, both of those are fine. I'm not making the candidate wrong if they answer either way, but that's important information to know. Some other things that you could ask might be, are you a person who prefers clear directions, or do you like being given a goal and figuring out a way to achieve it? Either of those could be right, but only one of those is going to be right for your business. Another idea could be on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like a perfectionist, and I got to triple check everything before I launch it, and 1 is like, speed's more important, let's get stuff out there and see what happens. Where do you fall? Do you like really take your time making sure that stuff is bang on? Or are you one of those people who just likes getting as much stuff out as possible? Both of these is fine. 1 to 10, where are you at? So when you sit down to do interviews with candidates, it's really important to know what are we looking for and being able to get that information out of them in a friendly way. Obviously, doing a job interview is stressful for you, the interviewer, the business owner. It's stressful for the candidate as well. So asking questions like this that, again, don't make them right or wrong is a really low pressure, sort of low stress way to go about doing this. And of course, there are all the typical questions that you can ask around, like, tell me about a time that you worked on a YouTube channel. What is the most successful YouTube channel that you've worked on? Tell me about a time when you had a project that failed. How did you deal with it? All those sorts of things are helpful as well. But these are the kind of things that I'd want to know to figure out if someone is a match for my business. So, in a nutshell, it comes down to 3 things. Number 1, know what does your business need. Does it need content, email, more sales, media buying, web page building, more conversions? Whatever it is your business needs, that's where you start. Secondly, go about writing your job description in the least stressful way possible. Let other people do the legwork for you. Use tools like ChatGPT to help you make your job post or your job description sound more interesting and exciting. Very important, get people to audit your business so you can actually check out how they think before you interview them. And when you do interview them, know what you're looking for. Know what is like the ideal candidate in terms of how they work, what their skills levels are, what their experience is. And if you go through this process, you'll find it pretty easy to find a digital marketer who's a good match for your business. There are plenty of them out there right now. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor. Number 1, click on that subscribe button, join the channel, that really helps us out. And number 2, if you haven't yet watched my video on how to build a growth marketing team, that's a really good follow-up to this video, because if everything goes right with your candidate that you're hiring right now, there's a pretty good chance that you'll want another one soon to help you make even more money. So head on over, check out this video, and I will see you over there.